Hello, this is Bo Knuth, and this video is going to be regarding the mobile promotions SDK that I've put together. You'll notice that on the left is the web portal for doing the administration of the promotions, and on the right hand side is my iPhone being projected onto the screen. So that's not a simulation, that's actually the app running on the iPhone, or I should say the white app running on the cell phone, because the SDK actually just takes up this bottom portion of the screen, and then it's got the icons for each one of the promotions slash recommendations slash ads. So the way that we've got the SDK set up right now is you click on one of these icons on the bottom of the screen, and you'll notice that it pops up the background from the Apple Store. Now, this behavior is just the default for the purposes of this demonstration. We could have it. Basically, what we'd be doing is telling the developers as the documentation in the SDK what type of images they'd be putting up here on the screen, and where we would be placing, the SDK would be placing the cancel buttons or the buy buttons, which would lead to the purchase and payment for the based on the cost per installation. But before we get to that, we'll show you something that happened as a result of clicking on that button was the collection of an analytic. And so if we go over here to our analytics screen, you're going to say, oh my goodness, that's absolutely ridiculous. But the purpose here is to demonstrate that the plumbing is all in place. All the database connections and the web server connections all the way out to the mobile device are all functioning properly. And so what we can see there is we've clicked one time on the first icon there in the tray in the lineup. And if we go ahead and press on the second one, you'll see that it brings up again the image that's been downloaded from the central server, and we'll show you in just a second how you add more of those. But now you'll notice that over there on the analytics side, that the number of hits for Baby First has just gone up. And this, for the purposes of the demo, I'm refreshing this every 10 seconds or so, both on the SDK side and on the website side. So before we were able to do any of this, we needed to enter promotions into the system, into the database, and so we have a screen here for putting in the promotions, and we'll show you exactly how we go about doing that. We'll put in a name for the promotion so we can identify it on the graphs and charts and reports. And then we've got drag and drop capability for actually putting the icons and the pop-up images for each one of the promotions. And so you just bring up your browser, your Finder, and find the icon that you want to use, drop them in there. You see a little progress bar there, and now we're ready to go to the next screen and put in the background image. So we're doing the same thing here again, drag and drop. We can see the progress bar there, and now we're done. Now we have a new promotion. Now it doesn't show up anywhere here in the simple analytic that we put up here, just to track how well our mechanisms were working in the background. But if you go to the config screen, you'll see now we've got, in addition to the 5 promotions that are already in the lineup, we've got the new one, the Vocabulary Larry. So what we can do is go ahead and clear the lineup that we have right now, which is displayed as we enter the config screen. We'll go ahead and clear that, and we'll put Vocabulary in the first spot there. And then we'll fill in our lineup and go ahead and click Save. So now you'll notice that our charts and graphs here on our analytics dashboard have changed, so that now vocabulary is in the first position. And if you watch the screen over here on the iPhone, you'll notice that, oops, the icons just changed, because all that information about the configuration that we just set up has been transmitted down to the iPhone, and it has updated the SDK portion of that application, has updated all the information down there on the for the icons. And you'll notice that if you click on the new vocabulary icon, you get the the graphic associated with that particular one. There's no limit to what we can do on the front end side because it's all being driven by the SDK. All the images and the instructions for what to do with the images, again, are all being driven by the configuration. Now, to expand upon this, we'll add filtering capability. We'll undoubtedly have hundreds or thousands of promotions recommendations here in our database, and so we'll need to have ways of filtering them in order for you to drill down to exactly which ones you want. The analytics will drive, the configuration, but what we're showing here is that basically all the plumbing is in place to go from one end to the other, and that the tweaks that we're going to do on the front end are really going to be driven by the customer as far as what they need to be able to see here. I believe the Apple Store is coming out with the capability of having preview videos associated with each one of the apps, and so that's probably where this is going to go, is to be able to put that same video up there, get it from the App Store, and put it in here. But the plumbing is all in place for sending down all the icons and the instructions on what to do with them from the central server. So that really means that there's nothing to do on the front end, if you will, other than what the SDK is already doing. And again, on the back end, we've only got the analytics here to verify that everything's working correctly. But this is just a simple matter of taking some of the HTML5 charting SDKs that are available. There's many of them in order to expand upon the analytics that you want. And of course, the analytics are always going to be driven by your business needs. So that's it for this recording. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.